I feel like I should be saying happy reunion. We
Yeah, I know,
haven't
hadn't
seen
seen
each
you in a
other
while,
in
yeah.
like forever. Great to have
True.
you. If you're new to town, this is Dr. Bentley. He answers your pet questions. We have one right now. Let's get to it. Dr. Bentley, here's a question from Margaret. She wants to know, I have an 8-year-old blue pit bull with skin allergies. What can I do to control this? And let me just add on, what is a blue pit bull?
Blue pit bull is sort of like it's a black pit bull with the genes, sort of makes their hair pastel colored, so it's sort of that bluish gray color.
Oh, wow.
It's really pretty. The problem with it is that color hair in particular, especially with pit bulls, unfortunately, tends to come along with a lot of skin problems. They tend to be allergic dogs. They tend to have like mange problems if they have that particular genetic problem. And they have a lot of hair loss. They're usually allergic to lots of different things. So it can be a tough one. Controlling the allergies is also very difficult. There's basically two types of allergies. One that's called cell-mediated. That one's the really hard one to control. There's not many drugs that'll do a very good job of it. Those are usually, they're allergic to either food or fleas. The other type, where they're allergic to like the dust and pollen, mold, mildew, that sort of stuff, those are easier to control. Drugs work better for them, especially steroids. If steroids didn't have any side effects, most dermatologists would be out of a job. They work great. The problem is that long term, they have a lot of detrimental side effects. You can't keep them on steroids forever unless that's the only thing that works, and then you have to. There are other drugs available, two in particular. You need to talk to your veterinarian about it. Those are long-term drugs that can be used. They're fairly successful, 75 to 90%, depending which drug you use. Relief from the itching if they're the type of like the dust, pollen, mold, mildew.
Is this pretty expensive to keep up if you let it get out of hand, or is there something that you can do from a proactive standpoint?
Getting them under control is very difficult. It takes a long time. You have to have a lot of patience. It does take a while. They usually have skin infections that go along with all the scratching they've done, so they usually have staph infections and yeast infections and all this sort of stuff, and that takes long-term therapy, weeks to months sometimes, to get them fully under control before you can maintain them.
Having a good vet is key because
and having a lot of patience. You can't, nothing is going to work super fast. This is something that's going to take a while to get under control.
That's a great question because there's so many layers to it. Along those same lines, very important if you're new to town to find a good vet. Is there one question, let's say they can't find you, is there one question that you should ask a vet and then you'll know, aha, this doctor is for us, for our family?
Really not. You know, my best advice is you go to the clinic and tour the clinic, sort of, see what it's like, talk to the doctor, and just see if you have a good fit. Unfortunately, there's no way to judge how good a vet they are just by meeting them. Some people talk a good game, but they talk the talk but can't walk the walk, sort of thing.
If you see dogs smiling, you're in good hands.
That's right.
Thank you, Dr. Bentley. Here's your phone number and address if you have more questions for Dr. B. He'll help you out. In the meantime and between time, up next, we're taking a look at our stories in the day ahead with Tom Russo, our assignment manager. Next.